On the campus of San Jose State, we begin with a simple question. Just how good is the United States women's gymnastics team? Well, we'll get a good idea today when the U.S. women take on teams from around the Pacific Rim. A women's team from Australia, one from Canada, and teams from Russia and China. And China may be on everyone's mind because 4 months from today at the National Indoor Stadium, August 13th, teams will march in to compete in the women's team final for the Olympic gold medal in Beijing. That's 4 months from now, today. Welcome to the Pacific Rim Gymnastics Championships, presented by Gillette Venus. Al Trowig, along with Olympic gold medalist Tim Daggett, Elfie Schlegel, and Andrea Joyce, is looking for stories around the floor, and one of those is Nastia Liukin, one of America's big two. Now, Shawn Johnson is not here, but she is, and one of those that she hopes to take on is Dasha Jura of Australia. And this is a team competition. The Chinese, like the Americans, will watch the first round. We've already seen plenty from the Chinese and the Russian gymnasts. What kind of a team have they brought here? Is it an A team, a B team, or a C team?
Well, Al, they certainly are not their A team. There's some good athletes, but they've left the actual best at home.
This is what we've seen so far in round one. China's Kuxun Wang.
Typically, the Chinese are very strong on this apparatus, including balance beam, but not today. This was their top athlete in a big fall. That was a 0.8 deduction.
As they will be in Beijing, the Russian team keeping an eye on their Chinese competition. Soon it was their turn. Number 121 is Ludmila Grebenkova.
And she actually is a veteran. Been around a long, long time. Does some of the hardest gymnastics, as you see right there.
That put Russia up by 3.05. In round two, China did some good tumbling on the balance beam.
Yeah, and showing off classic lines that put them in the lead.
And look at this little one right here. She is 11 years old. Cute as a button and about 4 feet tall.
She actually walked under the balance beam.
Now to round three.
Beautiful tumbling right there. The Chinese certainly can get the job done.
Now Russia to the vault, trying to chip away at China's lead.
A nice vault, a double twist, but certainly not enough to move ahead of China.
And China extended their lead to 1.5 points. Now it's round four.
This was their fearless leader. You know, no fuss, no fear. She just gets out there and gets the job done. She was really the glue for this Russian team.
But in the end, it was all China. In fact, in dominating fashion, their separation from Russia in those first 4 rounds, 3.5 points. And these young gymnasts, considering where the Olympics are going to be, can't learn to win fast enough. And as this event moves to the next rotation, the United States will have to watch a little bit more, but soon it will be their time to get busy. Nastia Liukin is one of 3 seniors on the 6-member team for each country. 5 compete, 4 scores count. Part of the rules in this event. There you go, in the Pacific Rim Championships here on the campus of San Jose State University. Tim, we're going to start on the vault, Elfie 2, with Australia, one of their junior members, Emily Little. How good is Australia going to be in Beijing?
Well, I think they can be great. Actually, though, at the last World Championships, they had a disastrous performance. Ended up 11th in the team competition. I thought they would vie for a medal. Didn't happen there. She'll do a 1.5 twisting Yurchenko. Powerful vault. Just in the air. Her knees, legs were not completely straight, and she steps over that line. That'll cost her another 1/10 of a point.
And of course, you can chalk that up to the inexperience, being a junior athlete here. This is huge for Emily to gain this kind of experience because, of course, she's too young for that Beijing Olympic team.
But you see those knees, and let's see if that foot, it goes over the line. If one foot goes over the line, it's a 1/10 of a point. If both do, 3/10 of a point deduction.
Not a great score, but this is great experience for her. Back in a moment. To Americans, these have always been images of a country and a culture far away. Now, San Jose, California is a step towards that. It is exactly 4 months away. 4 months from finding out what their destiny is in Beijing, China. Places like a Great Wall and a Forbidden City to be visited at some point in a lifetime. And now the Americans still wait to compete here. That's Nastia Liukin of the American contingent. She could easily be the best gymnast in the room, correct?
Absolutely. She is.
Today, one of those places to reaffirm that status. Vakulik of Canada. Christina is only 15 years of age. And Elfie, how good are the Canadians going to be?
Canadians have brought their best team here to San Jose, but Al, they did not qualify a team to Beijing. They've only qualified 2 athletes. She's one of those athletes vying for a spot. Tim would agree with me. The Canadians in practice certainly turned our heads. We both looked at them and thought, wow, they're serious about this competition.
Obviously a huge disappointment for them not qualifying as a team to Beijing, but they do have some very talented athletes coming up. At the World Championships in 2007, the top 12 teams only got a ticket to punch for Beijing, and Canada ended up 14th.
Christina had a chance to compete at the test event late last year. She told her coach, 1980 Olympic champion Elena Davidova, I want to come back here.
Now Dasha Jura of Perth, Australia.
And she is actually one of my favorite gymnasts in the entire world. She's not doing all of the stuff she can do, but you see that head thrown back. She is such a performer, and she says, you know, it's me, and I'm going to be me. So this is just a full twist, beautifully done. She's capable of adding another full twist, which would increase the potential score by almost a point, 8/10.
And she certainly needs to do that extra full twist in order to be in the top ranks in Beijing. And as you said, Tim, she could very well be there.
And in this new world of gymnastics, 13.95 is okay. And let's go back and get Christina's score. She gets a 14.35. And we'll stick with the Canadian team. Nancy Damianova.
And Nancy also is one of those athletes that's vying for those very precious 2 positions. Interestingly, they're going to make that decision in Calgary in June at the Olympic Oval. That's where their national championships will be held.